The smartphone world has been buzzing for months about ultra-thin phones, and for a while it looked like every major brand wanted to make its own version of the iPhone Air. But now, a new wave of reports says something very different. The whole industry may be stepping back. Not just one company, not just one cancelled project. Major brands appear to be pulling the plug on ultra-slim phones altogether. According to fresh rumors from inside the industry, companies like Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, and others have frozen or outright abandoned their plans for super-thin devices. These phones were supposed to compete directly with Apple's iPhone Air concept, incredibly slim bodies, eSIM-only designs, futuristic builds, and a new focus on minimalism. But the excitement seems to have faded fast. Apparently, some brands had already invested heavily into the technology needed for ultra-thin devices. Xiaomi was working on what insiders called a true Air model, designed to rival Apple's approach. Vivo, on the other hand, was reportedly shaping its mid-range S series around extreme thinness. But with demand looking weak, all of that work may now be heading in a new direction. Sources say companies are redirecting their eSIM resources to other products instead of continuing with ultra-slim phones. All of this lines up with previous reports that the iPhone Air hasn't been selling nearly as well as expected. On paper, people were excited. It was Apple's first major redesign since the iPhone X in 2017. A crazy, thin 5.6mm body, that's the kind of thing that grabs attention. But in reality, the compromises have been hard to swallow. The battery is smaller, the phone only has a single camera, and yet the price starts at $999. For just $100 more, buyers can get an iPhone 17 Pro with much better battery life and 3 rear cameras. The value simply isn't there. Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge appears to be going through a similar situation. The S25 Edge was another device built around extreme thinness, but according to leaks, Samsung has already cancelled its successor, the Galaxy S26 Edge. That decision alone says a lot. If Samsung doesn't believe the thin phone trend is worth continuing, the rest of the industry is definitely paying attention. Even user responses line up with this shift. Tech fans themselves have shown mixed interest in super slim designs. In fact, a recent Phone Arena poll revealed that most people aren't really excited about owning an ultra-thin phone. They like the idea, but the real-world trade-offs, especially battery life, are a deal-breaker. And that's the core issue. Thin phones look amazing, but making a phone that's slim almost always means cutting battery size. You can't escape physics. The thinner the body, the smaller the battery. And in 2024 and 2025, battery life is one of the biggest priorities for buyers. Nobody wants a phone that dies halfway through the day just because it looks nice. Some people still think ultra-thin phones have a place, but with conditions. For example, the idea makes more sense with foldables. When a foldable is open, being thinner would make it feel lighter and more natural in the hand. And with new battery technology like silicon-carbon cells, companies could eventually fit something like a 10,000 mAh battery into a slim form factor. That kind of innovation could change everything. We already see signs of that with phones like the Galaxy Z Fold 7, which, according to unofficial reports, has been pretty popular this year. That phone is thinner when unfolded compared to older models, and buyers seem to appreciate that. It shows that people do enjoy thinner designs, just not when it comes with big sacrifices. So maybe the problem isn't thinness itself. Maybe the problem is how brands try to reach it. Without better battery tech, thinner phones feel like a downgrade, not an upgrade. And if buyers don't see real value, even the most hyped products won't survive. For now, it looks like the ultra-thin trend might be slowing down across the industry. The excitement was real, but practicality wins again. If brands want to bring the idea back in the future, they'll need technology that supports thinness without compromise. Until then, it's back to the basics: performance, battery life, and features that people actually use every day.